and Brighton were the first team out. The first job today is to catch up on the two teams. Brighton are at full strength for this one. The only real doubt was about their goalkeeper Brian Powney, but Brighton were happy to announce that he's fit to take his place in the side for this important cup tie against the First Division side Chelsea. As for Chelsea, they've had a terrible run of injuries this season, but now manager Dave Sexton's happy to say that Bill Garner gets back at number 11 and Steve Kember is at 10. So it is the side that he would have played at Manchester, at Main Road indeed, last week had the match not been postponed. For Brighton's Barry Bridges, a big day against his former club. For 19-year-old Stephen Piper, it's quite a day and quite an ordeal because he'll be marking the chief danger to Brighton. That, of course, is Chelsea's Peter Osgood. And the man sharing the main attacking job with Osgood today is Bill Garner. The crowd, just about 30,000 strong, some of the latecomers still straggling into the ground, and the referee is Peter Reeves of Leicester, now waiting to make a start.
And the referee gets the game underway there. Chelsea kick off, Brighton in the striped shirts, kicking from right to left, but it's Chelsea on the attack. And it gives, oh, brave save there, and Chelsea have scored! Oh no, the referee has disallowed it. The linesman had his flag up there. Referee Peter Reeves there on the spot. He's responding to the linesman's signal there. What a dramatic start to a cup tie. And he's giving a kick on the goal line, I suspect for offside. It looked to me as if there was a little bit of dangerous play there, because when Powney dived on that ball, the forward went right into him and kicked at it, and the ball rebounded and the shot came from that incident. But there it is, it's a free kick now. Brighton rescued, Powney to take it. It's Kember. Harris on the ball, Osgood jumps. Garner, Tommy Baldwin in there. Good clearance, fine clearance. Brighton are on the attack to the cheers of the crowd. O'Sullivan, clever little dribble, and he's moving down the line. Brilliant dribbling by Summit, and Beamish has a shot! Brilliant first time left foot shot there by Beamish. He took it well on the turn. I know manager Pat Saywood has told his team, every one of you can go forward with the ball, we've nothing to lose. So go out there, force the pace and attack right from the start. Beamish showed that attitude with that first-class shot. Harris. Piper getting his first kick. Foul given there against Gary Locke. Tackle from behind, free kick taken very quickly. And that's George Lay on the near post. Bridges! It's away, and Brighton are putting the pressure on as they promised. Piper. But it's away with Garner on the left wing now, taking up from Chelsea. Inside there to Kember. It's Hudson into Harris. Diving header away there. And now it's Bromley bursting through the middle of the field. Graham Bromley. And he plays it out there. Barry Bridges on the left wing. And there's Spirit. Spirit's gone in, and a very good save there from John Phillips. A fine header from Bridges' cross. Osgood on the ball now, settling Chelsea a little. Inside to Kember. Baldwin. Kember on the ball. Nicely cut out there by Goodwin. And Piper clearing again. Kember. Webb. Baldwin flicks it inside, but Bromley's picked it up again. Searching ball there. Harris throws up the line to Garner. And a good tackle from Bromley to get the ball away from him. Goodwin coming away with it. Bridges lays it back, but it's a bad pass, and it gives Hudson a chance to slow the game down in the middle there. To Hollins. To Kemba. Gary Locke overlapping on the right. Hollins there, but he doesn't find him. Free kick there to be taken by David Webb. Floating it up there for Garner's head. He wins it, but Piper's a suspicion of handball there, but I think it was on his thigh. Whatever happened, he got it away. And there's Kemba through the middle. Oh, and a fine chase there. A fine chase from Goodwin. In fact, Kemba hesitated, thinking he was offside, and it gave Goodwin the chance to get back and catch it. Goodwin. Throw in for Brighton. Sperrit with the throw. And once again, this time a longer one. He's got quite a powerful throw, Sperrit. Dempsey in a little bit of trouble there, eventually puts it into touch. Had quite a layoff with a nasty Achilles tendon injury, Dempsey. Not easy to make a comeback. He's had 2 or 3 games now, just finding his feet. Once again, it's Sperrit with that long throw. Howell goes in hard, but fails to get it, and it's away to Osgood. First time out to Tommy Ball. To Hudson, to Harris, pushing forward Harris. Garner on the left wing, but he's tripped over him. He finds him in the end. And a tight ball in there. Free kick again, quite a dangerous position, a threatening position, just outside the Chelsea penalty area. Hudson, and Osgood is through there and he scored! He's onside and it's a goal. A beautiful curving free kick. Curving free kick there by Hudson, and Osgood scored it. Caught the Brighton defence napping. He timed his run beautifully from an onside position there. Hudson curved the ball, guided it, steered it in his path, and all he had to do was to tuck it in off the end of his toe into the corner of the net. Given against Peter Osgood. Referee having a word with him. I think he's very determined that cup tie or not, the game's going to be kept under strict control. Later kick for Brighton. Well taken by Hudson. Ball seems to... and a late tackle then from Sperrit. No question about it, the ball was played away, and I think the referee is going to take his name. He is. The tackle was positively late. There was no question about it. Hudson had the ball glued to his foot and he flicked it off, and Sperrit came in after the ball was gone. It's a pity because it's by no means a dirty game. It's both managers the best of friends, and I always think that generally results in a good clean game, but that tackle was late. Hudson to Garner. Osgood to Harris, but intercepted there by Littlejohn. Dempsey has it. Hudson on the ball, and Hollins has made the break, and he's given onside, and the ball's checked for him! A very good run, that beautifully timed through the middle by Hollins. There's no question about that, and the ball checked in his path. I thought a lob there would have been just the skill required, but he tried to trickle it along the ground, and in missing Powney, he missed the goal. Osgood on the left wing. to Hollins. Is he going to try one? Intercepted by Bromley. Garner again showing his skill in controlling the ball out of the air, that time on his thigh. Piper heads away, and Howe completes the clearance. But Chelsea is still pressing on the ball. Osgood on the left wing. Curls the cross in, and there's a diving header there from Steve Kember. Got through beautifully on the near post. A good cross, but just steered it past that right-hand post. Sullivan on the ball. Fine pass to Bromley. To Sperry. Sullivan again. There's that typical low cross. He seems to put all his crosses in low along the ground. Here's clever dribble by Lane. Another low one. Bromley with the throw. Sullivan sticking to him well, young Locke there, but at the expense of a corner. In fact, Bromley's going to take this one because Sullivan's corners have been a little bit weak. This is a high one. Beautifully taken there at the second attempt, but the referee right on the spot. I thought for a moment he was going to give a foul for dangerous play, but it was brave goalkeeping by Phillips. He dropped the first catch and then made it up on the floor. Garner again wins it. Piper away. Beamish. Sperry. Hudson. Long one across, but well intercepted by Piper. Not perfect control, but he got himself out of it. Bridges beats Webb to the ball. Now John Hollins, and there goes the whistle for half-time. A pretty good half of a cup tie. One could hardly call it a classic, but on the other hand, there's been a lot of entertaining football, played not ruggedly but with great determination by both sides. Brighton 1 goal down, Chelsea caught them napping with a free kick. So many goals these days scored from set pieces, and this particular one, a curving cross from Hudson, left Osgood an open goal from 5 yards. They let him slip through. There's Peter Osgood, the scorer. 1-0 at half-time. Brighton struggling in the first half, shall we say, but everything to play for now in the second half. Come back and join us there. So Brighton pick it up in the second half. I'm quite sure they won't get too disappointed with being 1 goal down. Manager Pat Sayward, no doubt, has picked up their spirits in the dressing room, and they'll come out fighting. Bromley on the ball. To Sullivan. Tight bit of play there, the sort of thing you see so much in modern football that wouldn't have happened a few years back. Working the ball out of tight spaces. And Hudson trying to use skill to defend and giving away a throw-in. And across there to Beamish. It's Merritt! Oh, and a fine save! to Sperrit so well, and Sperrit jumped and got all the power he could in it, but a fine save there from John Phillips. And now it's Kemba to Baldwin. Headed well away by Piper there. Goes after it again to complete the clearance. Good cross by Baldwin, and Osgood goes in! And it's a fine goal! Aussie's second goal! A lovely curling cross by Tommy Baldwin there. And Peter Osgood went flying in and met it first time, almost from the same distance away from goal as he got the first one. Brian Powney had no chance whatsoever. The Brighton defence caught through the middle, and Osgood finally finishing it off. And as Brighton kick off, we note that Peter Osgood scored that goal 16 minutes after half-time. The first one was scored 16 minutes after the kick-off. But that's put Brighton really in trouble now. A 2-0 lead at this stage of the game means they've got a lot of ground to make up. But it's Sperrit with a long throw. Hard luck Beamish with that back header. Hudson now on the ball. To Osgood. Beautiful pass to Baldwin. Blocks through. A high cross. Kemba's the one who goes to it, but not a very fine header on the end of it. There's little Sullivan, still working away, and Sperrit. Bad ball back from Beamish there, has left them stranded. And it's Osgood. Hudson and Kemba. When Chelsea are playing sweetly, it's these three that are behind most of the moves. Garner gets it on the wing. He's going to hit it, and a cracking shot there, Downey. Whoa, Brian Powney got down at the last moment there to that one. I think he was a little bit unsighted, but in the end he brought off a fine save. There's Bill Garner showing that he can play with his feet too. Templeman to Sullivan. Switch to the right wing now in an effort to maybe get his younger legs past Harris's older ones. Whoops, and there was a trip. Keep calm, says the referee. Good advice, and they've taken it. And it's Bromley, worked hard throughout. There's an incident gone on in the goal mouth. Nobody knows what it was. I didn't have my eye on it. I was watching Bromley take the kick. But Sperrit went down. And it's my guess is that he would have been punched. The referee appears to be dealing with the situation. Sperrit is holding his face, and the referee has Harris, and he's talking to him, and he's taking his name. There he is on the far side there with the photographers, and he's sent him off the field. He's sent him off the field. Obviously the referee saw a punch, and one can't question that his action was right. What a stupid thing for Ron Harris to do. Looking the coolest man on the field, having had a fine game, Chelsea winning 2-0, and he has to commit that action. We didn't see it, I haven't seen it myself, but I have no doubt the way that Sperrit fell to the ground and the way that referee Peter Reeves has dealt with the situation, that he saw it very clearly indeed. But what a silly thing to do. Baldwin. Kemba again. Little tussle. Young Piper. Kicked up in the air by Kemba. Young Piper. And the Brighton players are going round him, and I don't wonder, because Piper went in well for that ball. A good interception. And Kemba snapped at his heels and bit. And I think he's going to have his name taken. And once again, I wouldn't query that decision. Piper's fit again, and away we go. Little lob ball there. Goodwin got underneath it. Osgood to Garner, and he's away. He's going to catch it before the line. And more! Beautiful goal there! He's given Baldwin offside. It looked a lovely run, but I've no doubt the linesman was right. It was taken so beautifully, it almost seems a pity that it wasn't allowed. Off the outside of the foot, low cross by Garner, and Baldwin sliced it into the goal off the outside of his right foot. He's had a fine game, Baldwin, today, been very dangerous with his runs. And he's still on the wing again. From behind by Lay. There's violence coming into it now. Fighting going on. Quite ridiculously. They're going through the motions of fighting. Nobody's really throwing a punch, but it looks so bad and it is so disgraceful. He's calling Osgood to him. There's Osgood there. I think that's George Lay with him. George Lay. The two of them are going over to the touchline. And it seems so senseless. Why Chelsea should allow themselves to get mixed up in this. There should be no frustration on their part with a lead of 2 goals with just about 7 minutes left to play. And he sent him off. And he sent George Lay off, so there's 10 men left on each side. He was the first one really to lose his head. He went rushing back there with a punch, and Peter Osgood, it looks as if he's getting his name taken. Osgood is staying on because his was retaliation, and the game is restarted with a free kick to Chelsea taken by Tommy Baldwin. Garner gets his head to it there, and it's just wide. Dave Sexton once more, probably wondering how the game suddenly went sour on Chelsea. It looks now as if they'll be through to the next round, but with Harris sent off, it must take some of the pleasure at least out of a win. Bromley on it again, punts it through there. Bridges heads back. Locke puts into touch. Howell on the ball. Kemba wins it. Garner to Osgood, coming from deep. And he's going on his own. Referee allowed to play to go on. And David Webb, I think, is going to have his name taken too. No, he's forgiven him. Or has he? No, I think his name's in that book. Yet another one. There can't be much room left. And there you can see the crowd. I'm afraid not all of the violence that's going on is going on the field, because the crowd has spilled over the touchline there. The police are having trouble to control, and their kids not causing any harm at the moment, but they should be back behind that barrier. And now it's Chelsea on the attack. Baldwin, and a brilliant shot there, so well saved. A lovely shot by Alan Hudson, dying for his first goal of the season, but a fine save from Brian Powney. And here we go now, Templeman on the ball, Brighton's last throw, Spirit to Bridges. My goodness, these Brighton players have fought this afternoon. Too hard maybe in some respects, but that's a bad mistake, and it's let forward in. Oh, and a very bad foul there from Howell. He realised as soon as he did it that he should not have done it, and the referee almost has no alternative but to put his name in the book. He was sorry as soon as he let his foot fly, but unquestionably it was a late and a violent tackle. And there's the final whistle to an extraordinary game, a game that for so long looked sporting, pleasant. Chelsea having the edge, the difference between the teams. Peter Osgood, the man who you've just seen get enveloped, rush into that tunnel before the crowd can swarm round him. And there are the scenes at Golston Road this afternoon. Sperrit, the man who had his name, Templeman there going through. Jubilant Chelsea supporters on the pitch. The sound of a fire engine in the background, and the final score here, Chelsea 2, Brighton 0.
I don't know what the fire engine was doing about it, but apparently it was a cup tie that did little for the game of football, quite the reverse in fact. This morning's newspapers indignantly have gone to town on it. The Brighton brawl. Cup brawl disgraces soccer. Harris bust up. And indeed in the Sunday Express, Danny Blanchflower described it as disgraceful as any match I've ever seen. So what's the considered view now of our commentator, who now turns to his analysis, Jimmy Hill?
I wouldn't describe it as disgraceful as much as I would describe it as stupid, because for 70 minutes of this game it was played in a very sporting spirit, excellently refereed, and nothing to write home about at all. And then all of a sudden the players seemed to lose their heads. Maybe one could excuse Brighton, certainly not excuse them, but maybe understand, but not Chelsea. Apart from the moral issues involved, it was so unprofessional of them, 2-0 up, into the next round of the Cup at that stage of the game, suddenly to lose their heads in the way that they did. I must confess I didn't see the incident which started all off between Ron Harris and Eddie Spirit, neither did the cameras, but there was no doubt about the referee being on the spot, and he saw enough to send Harris off the field. Harris is complaining, and the silly thing about Ronnie Harris yesterday was he had such a superb game and was so cool up until that point. He's now complaining that Spirit acted, and that's what got him sent off. But he must have done enough for the referee to feel that he should send him off the field. And so what happened after that was his own fault. But let's look now at the other incidents in that game, those that we did record, those that the cameras saw, and judge for ourselves what really it was all about. The first one involved Spirit. It was a late tackle. He came in after the ball was laid off. You see it now, Hudson on the ball there, flicking it away, and you can see Spirit coming in from the back there, that foot just on the back of Hudson's heel. And that's the kind of thing that happens so often. The referee saw the tackle from behind, and he came over, blew his whistle, and took his name. And now we see the revenge motive. Stevie Kember kicked there from the behind by Steve Piper. Now watch how he decides to get his revenge. And there's probably the most frightening tackle that we shall see in the course of that game. Kember getting his revenge, taking the law into his own hands, kicks Piper to the ground in that way. Maybe there was provocation, but he had his name taken anyway. Now look closely now as this ball's laid up the left wing, and see the offence for which David Webb was sent off. There he is, straight into Spirit, getting his particular bit of revenge there and bringing him down. And lastly, Graham Howe, just at the end of the game, there was hardly a second to go, committed this foul on Baldwin. Tommy Baldwin's away with the ball, and he just chops him down, and quite rightly had his name taken. There were people afterwards that were saying the referee didn't have a good game. I don't see what any referee in the world can do when players behave in that way, except administer the kind of discipline that he did to them. What about the sending off? That was of George Lay. I have to confess too that took place right over on the far side of the ground. The lights at Brighton not all that good at the moment. They haven't that much money to spend on players, let alone getting the lights a bit better. And it was misty and it was near the end of the game. It doesn't show up that clearly, but let's look at the scuffle. The way in which Osgood got his name taken, the way in which George Lay decided to have what they now term the early bath. Tommy Baldwin was involved in this. He goes up the line after that ball. He was playing in such determined fashion all the game, but that's a good tackle there from Lay. He too played coolly throughout the game and was one of the last players I would have expected to have lost his head. But now you can see how the whole thing is coming about. At that moment, Lay appeared to punch Osgood. Tommy Baldwin lost his head completely because obviously he saw it. But also the silly thing about it is they seem to want to show the worst side of themselves. Lay is having his name taken before he is ordered off the pitch, and Osgood, nonchalantly looking on there, had his name taken but was allowed to play on. And that really, for me, was the silly thing about it. So much about so little. They appear to want to show the worst sides of themselves. No damage was done. I looked at players afterwards and couldn't find a bruise anywhere, but it looked like a real boxing match. If it went on a rugby field, I don't suppose anybody would worry about it these days, but on a soccer field it gets headlines like disgrace and all the kinds of things that really are bad for football. I think the players on both sides really who were involved in those incidents should be ashamed of themselves. Now what about the good side of the game? 2 beautiful goals from Chelsea, from Peter Osgood. He'd only scored 1 goal in the last 8 games, and a goal scorer such as he has got to come good sometime. This was a free kick from Hudson, and he brilliantly stole in there. He looks a mile offside on that picture, but it really is a tribute to the timing of that run. He started behind the defence and timed it beautifully. The second one was a result of Tommy Baldwin. Good game yesterday from Tommy Baldwin. He's tried a right foot cross there which hasn't come off, and just look, as it comes out to him again, the way in which he cleverly steers that ball across with his left foot. And Osgood's brilliance in getting on the end of it first time and slamming it in the net. About the who deserved to win the game, I think there was no doubt that Chelsea deserved to win that tie. They had a little bit more class, and of course once they got the goal that they needed, they were always really coasting home from that moment. But all credit to Brighton. I will say, even in the last minute of the match, facing a hopeless task, they continued to come forward, which should be encouraging for them in the relegation battle which they fight in the weeks to come.